Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Let's continue with this friendship reading. Today is going to be EXO's members Kai and Sehun turn. So let's see a bit about these two, about their dynamic. They are both part of the same group. So let's see how they view each other and the relationship. I placed Kai on the left and Sehun on the right. So let's remember a bit about their energies, their astrological energies. Kai is a Capricorn sun and a moon in Aquarius, and Sehun is an Aries with a moon in Taurus. I have done individual readings for them, so I think I'm very familiar with their energies, but let's see how it displays here. Let's start with Kai. He got the Five of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords, and the Lovers. So from what I can see here, actually it's hard for me actually to read how he feels about Sehun, because I think that there's something about Kai that he is a bit worried lately. I think that he has to make a sort of decision or a choice, something that is actually causing him a lot of insomnia, a lot of overthinking, and probably he feels a bit upset about this. It's not serious, but he's like constantly thinking about this. So probably he's feeling a bit like out of his element, out of control. I think that some people were commenting that he is going to release a new album or a new song. So I don't know. I was hoping to see like more happy vibes, but I actually see here that he's a bit worried. He's a bit worried. So, but I think that if we have to see this from the perspective of a friendship, I think that what Kai is showing me is that with Sehun they have their good moments and then their not so good moments, in the sense that I think that they go through periods where they spend a lot of time together, like free time, like not working, and then all of a sudden it seems like Kai is pulled to work in another things, or to, it seems like they give Kai some kind of homework. I don't know how to say it, but it seems that way. They give him like, oh, you need to shoot this, you need to do this, you need to review this, you need to learn this script, you need. So it seems like every time he wants to make a connection, in this case with Sehun, it seems like something new appears. So probably the relationship is not the same as it used to be when it comes to how close they are. And when I say close, I mean it also. I mean it like physically. Like I was mentioning when I did this reading. I think it was the last reading that I did for BTS Taeyong and his actor friend Park Seo-hoon, that actually for you to have a friendship with someone, you need to make the effort, and that effort takes a lot of willpower and takes a lot of action. And even if you do it, you go through moments where you see each other often, and sometimes you don't. Especially because these are very busy people. So probably it can also happen that they do spend time together and they are always talking about work. So it's like sometimes the label of friendship is very different from what I consider friendship to what the other person considers a friendship. For me, for example, in my personal opinion, friendships are about presence, and an emotional connection. Like if I don't feel like the other person is I cannot think of that word, that doesn't reciprocate my feelings or doesn't understand the way it doesn't matter if they feel the same way or not, but they do not understand me. They do not pay attention to me. I don't think that we can go anywhere with that bond. So sometimes people think that because you show up in pictures together or because you attend work related things that you are friends, and sometimes friendships need a lot of more effort. But it's in the case of Kai and Sehun, definitely there's a friendship. But I was like talking about this, my perception of doing readings, friendship, quote unquote friendship readings, because sometimes I read for people that I see that they are not friends. I mean, they do care for each other, like I said, they do acknowledge each other's presence, but they are not friends. They can think positive of each other, but they are not on that level. So we have to open our minds to, what do you consider friendship? Do you consider friendship seeing someone posting pictures together, just because they happen to be in the same dressing room or in the same waiting room or in the same space? Like I value more seeing the idols or the famous people taking pictures of themselves with their friends or with the other idol or with the other famous person, for example, on vacations or on very regular scenarios, not so much on, oh, when I have my makeup on and I'm ready to go to stage. But in this case, let's go back to Kai and Sehun. I'm sorry for ranting, but I just want to call to awareness here. I want us to get in touch with something that we can learn from here. And Kai and Sehun do have a friendship. They do have a friendship that stand the test of time, and this is very important as well, because sometimes groups do not last that long, or groups have their ups and downs as well. But I think in the case of Kai and Sehun, I think that from what I can see here, probably they are the kind of people that they are not very expressive about their emotions. For example, telling each other that they love each other, but they are more like those kinds of men, those kinds of people that they express their love through actions. Like probably they invite you to do some kind of workout or some outdoor activity, something really like plain and something really regular. But in that invitation, they are actually trying to stay connected with you, spend time with you outside of work, outside of the schedules, outside, away from the cameras. You know what I mean with this. But I think that Kai definitely has some kind of like there's a bit of sadness in him. So I don't know what is it. Probably he's worried about this comeback or this new project. Probably there's a lot of he's feeling a bit insecure, or he's worried about something. But I think that he will get a lot of support from Sehun and the other members as well. But since here we are talking about Kai and Sehun, I want to stay focused on them, because then we have the card of the lovers. So probably Kai is indecisive about something. So he will need to talk, or he will have the opportunity to talk to Sehun about this. Because I think that I remember that Kai has a moon in Aquarius, and he's a Capricorn. So he's a tough cookie, in the sense that it's hard to actually get really deep with Kai, because Kai he has a sort of energy that he seems like he has everything under control, and sometimes he hides that he is insecure, or sometimes he tries to joke about it, or he tries to act like aloof, like he doesn't care, or that he's all right on his own, that he can make it. And I think that he does have a sort of fear or insecurity. So it would be nice if if he had the opportunity to open up to someone. And I think that talking to Sehun, it would be a good chance for them to also strengthen their bond. Um, because let's remember that Sehun is also an Aries with the moon in Taurus. So Moon in Taurus and Aries people also are very action orientated people, and they also are very about, like, okay, what experience can we have, or what can we do together when it comes to action activities, so you can feel better. What do we do? What do you want us to do? Do you want us to try a new hobby? Do you want us to go buy new clothes? Do you want to go visit a park or something? It seems like they are this is how their body language works. But I think that they need to go deeper. They need to get in touch with communication, with them speaking the words. Because them speaking their mind and being able to go deep is going to actually set them free from a lot of baggages, emotional baggages that they had been carrying for so long. This is not only about them. This is about the whole group, the transformations, the changes, the absences. This is about a lot of things. And probably this is what they are feeling. I don't know if I know Sehun is the magnet of the group, but I don't know about Kai. But probably since Kai also shows a very young energy. Probably he's also one of the youngest. I don't know. So there's something about them being able to trust each other and talk about sensitive subjects. And I think that sometimes they do not want to bring those sensitive subjects, or probably what worries them inside, because they do not want to make the other feel down, but I think that they do have that level of intimacy. These people have been living together for a very long time. They do have a dynamic, they do have a chemistry, and they could even have the potential of being looking at each other and being like, oh yes, I get what you mean. Like, I can read your thoughts, and it's not about telepathy. It's more about like sensing, because since there's a lot of earth element in both of them. They are very sensorial, they sense things through, for example, through touch, through eye contact, through smells. I don't know how to explain it, but it's much more than, oh, I'm connecting with you through my intuition. It's more based on, I'm looking at you and I can tell from your body language that you are not okay. Something like that. So it's something that they need to keep working on. They shouldn't be afraid of being vulnerable to each other. They shouldn't be afraid, because I think that there's something about, probably because there are not a lot of members around. Is this possible that there are not a lot of members around, or they cannot be all together at the same time? That it seems that it's a perfect opportunity for them to get closer, even though I know they have their own schedules and they are busy people, but they should try. They should make the effort. So let's go with Sehun's side. He got the Judgment, the Free of Wands, and the World. So yes, for Sehun also, the Judgment card definitely is. He is. I wouldn't say he's about to change careers, but there's an opportunity of him doing a solo activity or a solo project that actually he's really passionate about, and I think that he is thinking like, okay, about time. Like, this guy needs to work. Like, seriously, he's just like fed up. Like, he has so much energy, because the Free of Wands, it's also like you having like a sort of dominion over your talents and over your resources, and I think that he's tired of waiting for the right time to show what he can do. So probably he is going to have the opportunity to show his true potential in something that I wouldn't say it's music. I think that it has a much more, it has like a stronger impact than music. It could be acting. I don't know, but it seems like he wants to do a sort of like activity or role that takes a lot of energy out of him. He wants to show the audience other side of him. He wants to show a more passionate side of him, and probably like a bit more aggressive, So I don't know if maybe him being like part of a show and him being like the MC, or a show about him. I don't know, but definitely he wants things to change for him. And here with the world, it seems like there are a lot of things that also Sehun doesn't want anymore in his life. He's like, okay, I had enough of this, like the waiting is over, something like that. He wants to take care of business that probably he had been like postponing, being like, okay, like I'll wait, like I leave it here, okay. I leave it for later, I'll save it for later. And now he's like, no, there's no later. It's now or never. So I don't know what is this endeavor, but it seems like it's very important. It's going to change his life, actually. So when it comes to how he feels about Kai and their friendship, I think that also this is why it's important that they talk more often, because also Sehun is also someone that is very prideful, in the sense that he also thinks that he can manage things on his own and that he doesn't want to bother people, and probably because he's also very prideful. So there's something about him like saying, no, I can do it. I know how to do this. I know how to manage this. So probably he's right. He's definitely an action man. He has the willpower. He has good taste. He has a good image, a good reputation. So definitely he can do it, But what he needs is to change his approach. He needs to open up more to people. I think that he's a really sensitive guy inside. It's just that sometimes it's not easy to talk to him. Sometimes it's not easy, especially when he has his eyes on a certain goal, or he's like obsessed with getting something. He's like, get out of my way, I'm busy. Something like this, so he's a very stubborn in that sense. So I think that actually, since there are a lot of things that he wants to change in his life, probably has to do with relationships as well. Probably he wants to be more of taking the initiative as well, because I was talking about him sort of trying to take control of his own life, but not from a place of, oh, I control everything that happens in my life. I think that it has to do with him taking the first step, him being an initiator. Him being like, okay, for example, we are talking here about their friendship. For example, him being the one that invites Kai somewhere, or him being the one that calls him first on the phone. Him making that first step. I think that also Sehun, there's something about Sehun that I don't know if because he's Magne, he's a bit spoiled, in the sense that sometimes people is like, oh, let's not bother him, because we don't want him to get upset. So let's leave him do his things, let's leave him alone. As if he is the baby, he's the baby of the group. So they're like, let's not bother Sehun, so he's almost like the boss baby or something like that. So they are like, oh, let's leave, let the Magna live his life, and actually, he needs to take more responsibility in maintaining and also contributing to make their bond stronger. And not only with Kai, but with the other members as well. I think he needs to like to be more like passionate about their bond, to not take them for granted, because if they are not together, then they will miss each other. So it's good, it's healthy that actually he's like, okay, like I'm going to do this. So yes. And now I'm thinking, is it possible that they are in the military? Maybe I'm talking about Sehun because I don't know nothing about EXO members. Is some of them in the military? I believe they are, but I don't know. I know Sehun is the magnet, so probably he would be like one of the last members to leave, but I don't know. I'm not sure right now. So let's go with the cards that came out as an overall. They got the Prince of Cups, the Magician, and the King of Pentacles. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about, guys. The Prince of Cups, always the prince, the warrior that shows his cups, that offers his cup of love and emotions, that makes the first move. That is very humble enough to say, okay, I appreciate you. Thank you for being part of my life. I know I don't say it often, but I want you to know that you mean a lot to me. This is important. Them taking responsibility of their bond and working on their bond. Because the bond, the friendship, the connections need and must have a lot of effort. Sometimes for people are easier, sometimes for others not so much. But here, ending with the King of Pentacles is also talking about doing small advances, like working the land, like making the effort, one, two, slowly but surely, slowly but with consistency. Do not take each other for granted. Do not take your friendship for granted. Tell each other how you feel. And I think that this is a beautiful message. Not only for them, but for all of us that we have a friendship or a connection with someone that we don't see that often. Just because we take pictures every once in a while with them, this is not equal love. It's not about how many pictures I have with my friends. It's actually the moments you share with them that are not documented. So this is really beautiful. These cards actually is all about what I was saying, all about them taking control of the relationship, them being like, okay, like maybe I need to spend more time with you, maybe you need me, so this is beautiful, guys. I love this for them. So yes, this is all I have for the two of them. I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you are an EXO, if you are a fan of them, I would love to hear your feedback because I know that they have a long trajectory. So probably you know more about them than I do. So I would appreciate if you could educate me, as I always say, be respectful. We try to learn here, I'm not talking about them as if I know them, but here in our community, we always try to express our minds, but being respectful of each other. So thank you so much, guys, for being here, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.